My name is Jeff Huey. I am the owner, operator of Seeds Coffee Company. Wow, long time. Probably and when I was 21, 22, just starting grad school. So that's been since 2003, 2004, since kind of the idea of having an establishment like Seeds was birthed in me. Most consistent challenge, managing people. I think people are great and people are hard and they're always changing and it keeps you on your toes, but it's never easy. So taking care of a staff of 20, 25 people is pretty difficult. I think the happiest part of my work week is probably seeing everyone, which is odd because I just said that everyone was the hardest part of this, but if it weren't for the people that worked with me and me seeing their faces and interacting in a way that we do, I don't think this would be nearly as enjoyable. So coming on a Monday morning, catching up from the weekend is just really good. This will sound really funny, but how to run a business is the skill, you know, like I'm a guy who has more of a vision and more like, all right, this is what it could be. I'm not as much as a nuts and bolts guy of like, this is what a bottom line is. This is what profit and loss looks like. So learning the nuts and bolts of what operates a business has been really hard, but also a great challenge to match, you know, kind of my gifting. So it's matured me quite a bit. There's no way of saying like this one thing. Of course, people who have poured wisdom into me, a lot of it is just like getting in the middle of it and like, all right, we got to figure this out. Some of it is just stepping back and being like, what are other people doing that we're not doing correct? And then I think at the end of the day is like knowing each part of the business has been a really good skill to learn. Like I'm not familiar with the kitchen. Well, then I need to go work kitchen shifts so I can figure out what's wrong and what's not right. I'm not great at bookkeeping and budgeting. Well, I'm going to go work in the financial department to figure out every bit of the business that is day in, day out. And that's been a really helpful tool too, is just figuring out how to do it. Yeah, we have 1 million of these. And I could name so many, but I'll kind of go back to our earlier days because we weren't as busy and there's a lot more to be done on the shift. And so back in the day at this same place where we are now, there was a little bit different setup. And after we finished the milk gallon, which would go through a lot of milks, we would set up a trash can pretty far in the back and you'd have to sling the milk gallon from where you were and try to ring the trash can in the back. And that wasn't even enough. Then we had keys that would open the doors and we'd hang a hook on the wall in the back and we would constantly throw these keys trying to ring it on the key. So all the fun and games is what is the weirdest and craziest thing that we do here. A lot of goals. I'll try to name a couple. So one of the areas that we want the business to grow is on the kind of online sales side of things. So growing our subscription service, getting more people in on a monthly 2-bag, 4-bag thing. That's a big desire of ours right now. We also have been tapping into events a lot, whether it be a music event or an event in our city. So trying to build up catering and like on the go things. Personally, I think is grasping and understanding like what does it mean to scale from one store to the next and maybe even have future partners, which we failed out before, but was more of a learning exercise than it was a failure exercise. So that's just a couple. Very cliche and sappy answer is my wife. Literally the backbone of our family. Could never have done any of this without her. Probably put her in a couple more therapy sessions than she needed because of the business. And so that's got to be number one. Number two, a couple people, and that's tough. I'll just say there's a few friends, 3, 4, if I name names, I'm gonna get in trouble, but who push me, challenge me, whether they're in a business of their own or they're just challenging me to do better at my own business. But some of my close friends, just going through life together. Right? The one thing, the people who come through the door. We established from the very beginning that we wanted to be a place that when you came in the doors, you felt like this was home. And this neighborhood around us has embraced that. And so without customers who are very loyal to us and stick by us through our mistakes, through all the times, that didn't go well for them, without setting that tone of, we want this to be an environment that you feel comfortable and that you can come to every day. Without the customers, this would be a very hard job to pull off.